Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ghost of Sparta, and today we will be going through more of Atlantis.
He has fallen! Why have the gods forsaken us?
And there's quite a bit of fighting and things to do, and there'll be quite a lot of these automatons to fight as well. Because if you saw in the last video, there was the sort of chasm-y bridge collapsed area which we need to open up. And there's a lot of enclosed fighting again, which makes some of these fights quite difficult. And again, after my recent completion of the game on hard mode, where I was quite near the end, I'm struggling to understand how I managed to even get this far. Or that far on hard mode, because these smaller arenas are quite awkward sometimes, especially with the increased damage. So we've got our automaton key. I think it would have been nice to be able to use as a temporary weapon as well, to be able to hit enemies the same way they can hit Kratos. So I think that would have been quite a nice change of pace as well, especially because it could do a lot of damage and just something different. But with that, we can head on over across this bridge, where we'll be able to slot the key in. That was me just cutting out the fact that I've been checking my upgrades. I'm quite close to another one. So with that opened up, we're gonna get a brief cutscene every time we insert a key. But what we've got to do now is head back the way we came, because of the new path it opened. It's me being a bit stupid here, forgetting or getting mixed up with a part later on when I think you go a different way. But unfortunately, we don't get to just run back straight away. We get to fight more enemies. And luckily it's filled with Gorgons and a Minotaur, which does seem to actually do quite a bit of damage to me, I recall. But you might notice there, the explosion from the Thera's Bane does a good job of disabling enemies for a certain amount of time, which is actually really handy, just to get a bit of one-on-one time with the Minotaur. But again, do what you can to freeze everything, just for the quick dispatching you can do. And I managed to kill him before it wears off, which is always good because there's quite a few to fight. And unfortunately I managed to not execute one of the Gorgons, which I don't like doing, just because it makes things simpler. Ah yes, there's nothing worse than pressing the button, or pressing the square button at the same time the prompt comes up, and cocking it up. So with QTE messed up again, I get to have another go. I seem to be really good at changing how good I am at the game when I have different sessions of the game. But that's that lot taken care of. And if you do need help, there's plenty of civilians here you can just get some help from. I still find I'm not using the arms of Sparta as much as I thought I did. And this is one of the paths that's opened up to us. Before we head down there, we can open up this slightly out of the way red chest, which I think is give me like 100 off the upgrade, so it's nearly there.
Someone! Help me! Oh, thanks you, someone's come for me. I am stuck, host of Sparta. You again!
And we meet this man again from the beginning. And unfortunately he has to die.
You are the cause of all of this! What are you doing?
Which I don't see why regular people try and hold off Kratos. Now we've got Stellar Broods again, just cropping up.
Have mercy, Lord Kratos!
But luckily we've got the fast moving through the ceiling, just because it does take a while. But if we throw a spear at him, we can knock him off from the switch. But we can't just jump over there, we've got to go all the way back around. But I've just sped this up for you just to not have to go through the anguish of watching that again. But we can get another free automaton key, gear. And it's very easy just to miss the jump there and just kill yourself. Which seemed to be something I did a lot of my first playthroughs of the God of War's games. A lot of environmental deaths. But there are some spike marks hanging out there, which means we've got to fight dudes before we can head in. So here's where the disabling of the enemies is useful, because they're just standing there giving us time to get rid of the archers, which is really handy. And then there's the holding down the block and pressing square so you can attack from behind, which, and for some reason here I'm just absolutely appalling at anything. Getting knocked to the ground, missing all my attacks. When the simple square attack would be sufficient. Because our move there does a hell of a lot of damage to enemies. Like a seriously large amount of damage. It's quite stupid. And it's only 500 orbs away from being upgraded. And then it'll just be a complete powerhouse then. So that's another statue activated. And we get this bridge open here. After a quick check, going back down there to make sure on the hidden angles I didn't miss anything. And we're back to swimming again for a bit. And the swimming's actually a bit more interesting this time. There's actual traps and things to that can kill you, rather than just having a dip in the water. But our arms of Sparta are fully upgraded. And they'll do a hella load of damage now. But we're swimming at the moment, so you won't see that for a little bit. And this part here is I think it's a little bit similar to some of the swimming in God of War 1, I think, with some of the traps under the water there, some of the walls and spikes and things closing in. But what we've got to do here is basically dash through without getting smushed, and you have to grip onto the glowy at the end, which I got extremely lucky doing. So as you can see, the timing is quite tight. And we've got more strong currents down here, which are trying to kill us. Like this, for example, I was very close to death. Surprised I didn't die, to be honest. And it's always a case of being on the lookout for chests and crack things so you can swim through them. Such as this part here. And again, I was just checking for chests and things because I always seem to forget where they are between playthroughs and things. But we can surface here. And we get to fight some of these guys with our new and improved arms of Sparta, which doesn't seem to go well at all. Just the square move is just so good. I think it's just the sweeping motion as well it does, because they can hit more than one enemy, but it's just the final poke. It just does all the damage. You'll probably see against some of the larger enemies and how quickly they get taken down. I think I was trying to parry those back, and I sort of forgot I can throw my own stick. Which I do think does take a bit of getting used to, since our most projectiles in almost all the others were items which expended magic. I think apart from God of War 3, which had the bow and arrow, which were actually their own item, which was nice. So this is probably one of the hardest, I think, arenas to fight against, because there are two of these guys and it's complete hell trying to deal with two of them teleporting and using their stuff. It's not so bad with everything upgraded, but you really do want to use the blades here just for the bit of distance you can get. I think there's probably maybe one or two more hard arenas coming up in the rest of the game, but it's just knowing the electric can stun you in place. The way they can teleport just can throw you sometimes, depending on which direction they land. Admittedly, I've made a mistake there using the arms of Sparta so much. But the Scourge of Berenice is good for a bit of health recover. I'll cover it. So that's the first one can execute, which I very nearly didn't because of the other attack. And we get greeted with another one. That wasn't cruel enough. But that also means if you need to use the Scourge of Erinice again, it means you can leech more health. It's probably the only real useful one. But luckily you don't have to fight another two, it's just the one. So you get a bit more breathing room. I've always found sometimes, because I sometimes panic fighting these guys, especially on hard mode, so double dodging is sometimes just useful to really make sure you get away, because like there, I thought I was fine, but clearly not. And they're done for. So with that there, and all these guys powered up, we can build our bridge. So we'll be carrying on with the rest of Atlantis next time, so I will see you then.